Okay, well, hello. Hello everyone. Welcome to session 98, no, 97 of our D&D campaign. That's right? 97?
I trust you.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, how's everyone doing? Good. Ready to play some D&D?
GG!
I'm always ready.
That was codename for yes.
Wait, I thought this was chess club.
Yeah. We don't play D&D anymore. We just play chess.
Or
D&D is
Chads.
Totalitarian, whatever its name was. Territorio. Territorialio.
Yeah, Tagliatelle. Alright, okay, so, yeah, it's not Alex today, so it's just the four of you.
Oh, who's playing Roxanne?
You
You
are.
can just decide.
I thought
I
you were.
don't have. Oh, yeah, because I don't have. I was just asking because I don't have access to a sheet.
All right.
I'll do it. I'll give you it.
But
I doubt
we can
that
play.
you're gonna. Yeah, I doubt it's gonna be a big deal this session, but we'll see. Alright, well, if everyone's ready and has drinks and is, ready to go, then we shall start. Alright, well then, in that case, last we left off, the Cly 5, you had made your way to the Frostbleed Peaks on the trail of two fleeing dragons who had burnt the city of Viel, almost to the ground, in search of Gira, the High Librarian, as well as Melindra Fairwing. After killing their brother, Athanax, and trailing them to the Frostbleed Peaks, you found Athanax's cave, where the party did battle with the dragons Talendal and Kairos, who had set a trap for the party by going invisible and triggering the release of powerful elemental spirits that lay dormant deep within the base of the mountain. Managing to get the upper hand, you dispatch Kairos before eventually killed also Talendal. And as Talendal died, he sort of released his grip on the second gem of power, which Gira finally had managed to acquire. You then made your way back to Ersterwald, where at the end of the night Gira meditated as he attuned to the new gem of power, and suddenly a flood of memories rushed back to him, letting him know what truly happened on that fateful day 500 years ago. So it's past midnight. All the candles in Ersterwald flicker as Gira is in the midst of a flood of memories returning back to him. But after a few moments, he opens his eyes.
Kira just kind of turns to each of the people in the room.
Shonik to sleep somewhere.
Yeah, you're in bed, right?
Yeah. Shonik doesn't know what's happening.
This is a very strange moment. As if two lives butted into each other. You all seem from Scrimshaw, and he turns. Morna, Roxanne. Oh, and Melindra. Of course. And he kind of like jolts a bit. There's like it's like sparks, and it's like the alignment between his two kind of minds is still kind of like processing. So it's all a little bit confusing still. But it's churning in his head. He's kind of gripped against the hammer. And he kind of like lets out this kind of large kind of almost a bellow. It's kind of how stupid of me. How stupid.
What did you do?
Why haven't I done this yet? Why haven't I solved it all? I had so long. You all. Well, this will not do at all.
Sorry, I'm confused. Us? What?
Apologies, Scrimshaw. I'm just getting a little bit of static in the brain. The path is clear to me. And I know what we need to do. We should have done it a long time ago, but my memories were not all there. Do you want to stop Naxos?
Of course.
Good.
I mean, I feel like we don't have really a lot of choice. He's already brought the war to us.
Indeed, and for the last time. You notice that Gear almost like he's not de-aged, but he certainly looks somewhat like kind of youth has come back into him a bit. He doesn't
Vitality.
But yeah, he doesn't really need his cane as much. Kind of on the ground, and it's kind of an afterthought, and he's just kind of leaning against the hammer a bit more. And you do notice his eyes are a lot more kind of vibrant, as if there's something in there behind them, which is kind of this deep store of energy. So I assume you have quite a few questions. Perhaps.
Well, what did you see?
Well, 500 years ago, our kingdom, and he looks to Melindra, our kingdom fell. An empire should have lasted a lot longer. We were the arbiters of balance in the world, not interfering with the affairs of mortals, but keeping the world in check from problems. But your master, Shander, he was one of the main causes of the end of that. There was a fateful day where he came, as an emissary as he normally was. He'd come and go, at the whim of the Tarsat Empire. He was able to get to the inner sanctum, the inner circles, all over the Christos and Reganarum. And one day he came, and a fateful series of events caused the end of the world for me. The lodestone, the air lodestone you found me with, well, it fell off the side of my floating library. Shadow was fighting some cloaked girl, and doesn't matter. Whatever happened. The lodestone, I had to stop it. I leapt off the side of the city as it collapsed around me. I tried to banish the evil monster creature within it that would have broken forth out of its seal if it hit the sea. But in doing so, I damned everything. I had no choice. It was that or the end of the world, basically. I am sorry, Melindra. I failed our people. Did you know in the lodestone... did you know that what stands in the basalt isles is a great vortex, a tempest?
Yes, I've seen it with my own eyes.
Was there not a unified dragonborn response? It had to be destroyed.
It has just become, I think, part of the basalt towers. They don't know what it is.
That won't. Every moment we leave that thing to fester, it could break out. If it does, then by God, this world's over. That is what we must do. What must I do? But it would be useful to take out Naxos at the same time. I believe we all have a score to settle with him. My word, if that creature in the Tempest is allowed to fester, then everything was a waste of time. He kind of just paces a bit, still trying to think things through a bit.
The maps are the ones in your hammer. Are we with that second gem? Are we any closer to figuring those out? Does that help us?
Oh, Scrimshaw, it was never a map. And Akira kind of shines his hammer, and like the control he has over it, can he like project the map on the wall or something?
Sure.
Sure. So he kind of projects it. It was never a map. It was a key. How do you think the High Librarian got around the stone shift so easily? In terms to kind of Melindra on that one. Why, I just used this. Hell knew that it was all he needed the whole time. It would have made his life a darn sight easier. But of course, he would have needed me too.
Sorry, I'm confused. Are you saying the hammer is the stone shift?
No, my dear boy. The hammer allows us to teleport to the stone shift. It allows you to teleport to the nearest stone shift, wherever you may be.
Oh.
From there, you can practically go anywhere. Well, at least to another stone shift.
Right.
Well, but there's certainly something that we're going to have to do very soon. I fear we might need a bit more help. I remember when we were back in, I think it was a pub in Vienna, you spoke of a meeting with a Miss Massamantha. Is that correct?
Yeah. Not really sure where they are right now.
Where was the
Should be
last
back.
place you saw her?
In the Oak Bull.
Which
I mean, it was. Well, they banished themselves off to another dimension. They were supposed to return from their perspective in a few seconds, from our perspective in a year, but they never did.
Where exactly did you enter the Oak Bull?
Brathen.
Ah, very well then. You shall travel to Brathen in the morning.
We're not welcome there.
Yeah.
Oh, no matter. I am the High Librarian. I will go where I please. I'm not particularly worried about them.
I can come with you.
Oh, that's the spirit mourner. Thank you. Melindra.
I'll be in the shadows, but I can come with you.
Melindra, would you accompany us? It would be my honor to have a dragon in our party.
Of course.
Thanks.
Of course, High Librarian.
Very good.
It's good to have you back.
It has been too long. It has been too long. Say, how did your training go after I left? And how did you get away?
How did what?
How did you get away? When the explosion went off with the Tempest.
Oh,
library.
I wasn't in the basal tiles then. I was guarding Ashigal's prison.
Oh,
but that happened. Ashigal got freed before.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
In the Kara Concord.
About, I'd say about 3 months before to rubbish, Ashigal was freed. It caused quite the problems with the mortals as well.
Yes, well, which is why I did not know about the fate of the Cairo Concord until I laid eyes on it myself. When I went and saw Nexus.
You know, Melindra, hundreds of your kind are in that swirling tempest, and God knows how many of mine. swear during my period where I was nothing for God knows how long, I heard them screaming.
You mean they're still alive?
Well, I don't know. Totally within the realms of possibility that their spirit and souls have kind of been transfixed in that moment. I don't quite yet know how I managed to escape the Tempest, but it could be an expression of the combined will and fortitude of our people. And, allowed me to get out.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Which is even so more reason why we have to end this. And you notice Gira kind of in that moment seems very like he's obviously sad because it's his people, but there's a kind of emotional stake in there as well. There's something quite personal there. Barath, I'm sorry. My memories are catching up to me still. It would do us well to gain Massamantha's support. She has a big score to settle in Naxos, and I'm sure would no doubt want to help us. It was Naxos, after all, who imprisoned her many years ago, even before my time. I imagine.
It wasn't Naxos who imprisoned.
Oh, was it not? I thought it was.
No.
Who was it?
She was around before Naxos was really a big player in the Karakon Court. It was some
Another track. Okay,
an elf wizard during the war with Eretzel.
Which I wrongly assumed was their channel, but apparently it wasn't.
Ignore what I said. I am talking Biff.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
A very, very, very tired Shannock is at the top of the stairs. Won't you guys shut the fuck up?
Oh,
Please?
Shidduck. He kind of pats him on, comes over and pats him on the back or something.
You mentioned Mantha.
Ah, do you know her?
No, but she's come up in conversations with someone I do know. That being Shai, we're rather acquainted. But from what I know about Massamantha, she's imprisoned. How the fuck do you plan on getting her out?
Sure, it wouldn't be that hard. It smirks a bit.
She's an ancient dragon, right? If it wasn't that hard, then Chili should have broken free herself.
No doubt more complicated than that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, in the Oak Bowl, I'm not sure that Massamantha is even the most powerful person there. I believe Shai was an archfey, right?
I mean, she
She's just a
said
fae.
she
she
said
was just a
cool.
Regular fey.
That's why her mouth's all sewn shut. She's quite. Look, she's one of his servants, I guess. That's why her mouth's sewn shut.
I think if one of them was going to escape, it would probably be her, right?
Well, Shai could go in and out.
I don't think.
Well, I mean, from the banished version of the
Oh, I see.
Yoke Bull. Assuming
Implying
she stayed in there,
even-
right?
Implying she even wants to leave. Then again, Hakul could have even called her out. Have her do some other form of job.
Well, if she wants to stay, she can stay. My concern and quarry isn't with her. I like to interfere as little as possible, but Naxos and Co. have somewhat tipped our hand.
If you're going to the Oak Bull, I'd like to come with you. If it means, of course, Shai is there. I have a lot of catching up to do with her.
I assumed you would be coming anyway.
Oh, I just heard you all saying, "Oh, I'll come with." I'll be a
Oh,
small group.
You weren't with us the last time we went to Baratheon, were you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Why? Did you get up to mischief?
Well,
We're banned from the city.
yeah, Morna, Roxanne, and I are all
Oh!
banned from the city.
We may have gotten
Oh.
up to some mischief.
Oh, that's fine. We can disguise you.
Yeah, I'll just yeah, you can disguise me if you want. Last time I was an elf. That was fun because I'm quite tall, but well, a half elf. I think I've got my elf clothes. Maybe they're out of fashion though. 'Cause they're a few years old.
But yes. That said, maybe it's worth a smaller group of us going at first, so that we don't endanger all of us searching for a place that might not even be there.
Yes, because they will definitely kill us if we find us. If they find us.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mona, but they would stand no chance against us.
Okay.
Buddy.
Hmm?
I,
Weren't we
I
already-
understand you feel...
Weren't we already going to get some information about where they are from the Tempest brand? Is it wise for us to go looking for it ourselves first?
The Tempest brand will want something in return.
And,
Also,
They did. I mean,
if I may, it will take too long. Every second we waste is a second less. Before the creature in the Tempest might blow out. We've been very lucky it's not happened yet.
and of course, the Tempest brand, we don't really know how far in the fucking cult is. If we go asking for any information from them, we could wind up delayed, attacked, even killed. That wouldn't be very fun. I wouldn't trust the Tempest brand to point us anywhere. Well, anywhere that isn't a trap, that is. And with gear on this one, we do kind of need to look for it ourselves. We have an uncanny knack for finding things after all, don't we? We found several lodestones. How hard can a trans-dimensional pub be?
It'll be fine. I've searched much weirder in my time. We used to play
Yes.
a game in the Kustos where we'd hide things in small dimensions, and it was a game to see who could find it first. It was all quite fun.
And also probably very deadly.
Oh,
A plane of fire. Ah!
only we won't dwell on that, shall we?
Hide
like
an
a-
ice cube in the plane of fire somewhere.
it was like one of your friends was a gold dragon that was just hiding in the plane of fire. Like, haha, you can't come here. It's like, that's cheating.
Fucking loser.
We're not all immune to fire, Goldie.
Yeah, that's it. Melindra says, I think that I trust the librarian, that if he says that he will be able to have a clue, then I think he'll be able to... He's at the height of his powers now. I think that we should trust him.
Thank you, Melindra.
That said, I understand that you're feeling really, really good right now. But oftentimes when people feel really, really good about anything, sometimes things can go awry.
Junuk, if you think I'm feeling good right now, you'll be sorely mistaken. I've had to deal and cognize in the last 10 minutes that all my people are in agonizing torture.
I mean power-wise. Sure, you're at the height of your power, but a lot of people have assumed as such and run into danger without thinking. I understand that you need to get this done as soon as possible. Just please exercise whatever caution you can before doing anything stupid. Because I'm not the one to tell you not to do anything stupid. Everything I do is stupid. I'm pretty sure that's my gimmick. But, yeah.
Sherlock, do not worry yourself. I will act in a matter that is reasonable and adjusted. You have my word.
I'll hold you to that.
Yes,
If you
but
break
you're
it, you owe me 7 beers.
He kind of whispers slowly. He doesn't know my definition of adjusted and reasonable. Kind of winks.
And Ninja laughs. Well,
We're all going to die.
Right, well, if I may, I think we should have a good night's sleep, and then in the morning set out to Barathon.
That's
Who's going to do that?
Are we not
Oh.
going to the Tempest Brand? I think that's a good idea.
No, that's
Okay.
where the cult could be there.
And what are we gonna do when we get to Barathon? Call them.
Well, we're not
No.
waiting for them to contact us anyway.
Mona, we ought to find it.
Gira,
Alright.
you can commune, right?
Well, I can commune, but the force I am communing with, the storm, was actually the Tempest. It was an amalgamated amalgamated force of my people, our people.
Okay.
But I
Well,
can.
do you think you could commune with Shai, perhaps, or maybe even Masamantha? If it's connected to the energies of your people, surely Masamantha would also be a member of your people.
It's only the members of my people that are suffering in eternal anguish.
Right. Is there any other way we could contact beings from another plane?
Well, we just need to hunt out the residue energy left off by the Oak Bull. From there, we can pull it like a fishing line.
You sound like you've done this before.
Like I said, we played dimensional hide and seek all the time.
I like the new Gira.
Mora, I appreciate your concerns for the Tempest brand. I truly do, but I'm just worried that we don't realistically need them anymore.
And also, they're fucking deadly.
Alright. We'll go with your plan then.
Very good. If I may suggest, you all get a good night's sleep, and thank you.
I'm already halfway there, and Shinnok is already halfway up the stairs.
yeah, I'm gonna go to bed as well. Says Alton.
Stellar voice acting.
Just recline back into my chair. Are these recliners?
Alright, well, Mona, did you say you were gonna do a watch tonight?
Yeah, I was gonna do a watch night, seeing as there's a lot of people that want us to die.
Love that.
Okay. So, alright then. Everyone else begins to head off to sleep and begins to doze off whilst you sit yourself at the front entrance of Erstwhile, just waiting to see if you can hear anyone. So make a perception check for me then. Okay, so the first couple of hours are pretty quiet. You hear an owl hooting. That's why an owl hooting, not a howl. In the distance, just typical, normal rural life stuff. Then you hear what is very mysterious. Is a crack in the woods, of a branch snapping. And you listen out, and then you hear it again, and you're pretty confident that there's someone moving about in the woods.
I'm gonna go and get Scrimshaw because he's in the living room. I'm like, pick up.
What's up?
Go, go.
What's up?
There's somebody in the woods outside.
Who?
I don't know. It's just a bit fishy. I stayed up to do a watch, and there's definitely somebody outside. I can hear them walking through the woods. could be a bear or something, but I feel like it's a person.
Well, I mean, it's the night. It's kind of your domain, right?
Don't you have dark vision?
Well, yeah, but
We'll go and have a look, because otherwise I have to cast a spell.
no, well, you can just become invisible and
Yeah, but then I have to put my shoes back on and go outside.
I mean, I'll come take a look. I guess I'll go to the. I'll go over to the entrance and kind of peer out the window in whatever
Make a
direction.
perception check for me.
A little nightcap on.
Perception -1. 10.
Yeah, you look for a few minutes. You don't hear anything, but then in the corner of your eyes you see a little glimmer, and as you sort of like peer, your eyes like lock on with another set of eyes that are sort of peering out of a bush. And then the second that the second that the eyes see you looking at it, it just vanishes, disappears, or it runs into the tree line.
Saying, I'll just kind of shout out, "Can we help you?"
Maybe it's Rita. No, she'd be better at hiding.
Are you here about the Are you here about the protests? You're a bit late.
Make a persuasion check.
26.
Holy shit!
After a few moments, you see a young girl, not Rita, but dressed similarly to the young kids of the Grace of the Crow. Sort of just poke her head out. She's a bit older than Rita. She's probably about 9 or 10. And says, "Are you the people who live in the house?"
Yes. Are you from the Grace of the Crow?
Yes.
I'm gonna whisper to Trisha. She's not got a disguise, alright? Has she? She's not actually a witch.
Is
She's
she
probably about.
within
She's
30
probably
feet?
within your range. Yeah. So.
Seems, yep, it seems pretty fine to me. Come in. It must be, you must be cold out here.
Oh no, it's okay. We're just making the barn at the moment.
What?
Making the barn? Sorry,
Just
have
setting up the barn.
setting up.
Setting up the barn for what? I
Have-
just go out the front door now.
Sorry, have you been tasked to some work by Halcyon?
Who's Halcyon?
Are you gonna live in the barn with the rest of the people from Grace of the Crow that Carmen's found?
Yeah, we're making a barn.
Okay, well that's fine. You
Yeah,
go
who?
for it.
Sorry, who's asked you to make a barn?
Well, I'm not really making it. There's other people making it.
I'm gonna go and have a look at this barn.
I'm just looking for wood.
Okay. I'm gonna put my shoes on.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and have a look at the barn.
Alright, she leads you into
I'll
the
come
woods. And it's about a 2 or 3 minute walk until you start to see some tents scattered around a clearing and a half constructed barn that has like 6 or 7 Grace of the Crow bunks, sort of like constructing it in the dead of night. And you see Taman just sort of like barking orders at them. She turns around and says, "Oh, I didn't realize you were back."
Hi, Tapper. What you doing?
Well, we're just trying to set up a few living quarters.
Okay, cool. Need any help? Actually, I can't
maybe?
really help. I do sort of need to get back to watching the house.
Okay, well,
But
no worries.
I could help for an hour or so.
No, if you have other things you need to do, it's nice to see you again. I'm glad you're back. Safe and
Yeah.
sound.
I'm glad you're back too. How has the mission been?
Well, we haven't got as many people as I had thought, but there's 14 at the moment. Hopefully some more stragglers will come soon.
That's
But-
not a lot.
No, not really.
Okay. Well, you're welcome here whenever. There's a well in the house as well if you need water, don't forget.
Oh, yeah, we've been using it.
Okay, good.
Make yourself at home, why don't you?
You did say we could make a camp here.
Yeah, I thought I did. It sounds like something I would have said. Rita's has been enrolled in the local school, so feel free to go and get her out if you want. If you can. You know.
Grace of the Crow is very anti-education.
Hey, no, not anti-education, just pro our education.
Of murder.
Indoctrination over education.
She says, well, we'll see. I'm still not 100% sure how safe it is here. So, well, I will keep tabs on her. I'll keep her safe. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, there's some puppies as well. If you in the house.
I think
So-
I think Erin probably took those
Oh, did
puppies
they?
to
Did she?
OSS.
Okay.
Hmm.
Damn it! Give them all a hellhounds. No.
To be fair, yeah, this might be a nice place for the puppies to be, where there's lots of kids around to play with.
Well, they're not going to be playing with puppies. They're busy learning the ways.
They'll be fighting them for training.
No!
You have to grind it that XP somehow.
When you can, they could have to learn to hide from the dogs, masking their scent,
Yeah.
and then in their
Maybe.
downtime, just play with them. Be friends.
All right. Well, Tenman continues back to her. She says, yes. Well, I must get back to my duties, but yes, it's great to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. You've got my number if you need anything.
Yeah,
So-
but we could
You know,
always we could
I get out the sending stone out my pocket.
Right. Yes.
we could potentially hire some workmen from the local town to help build things as
No,
well.
It's better that they keep this.
Unless you want to keep this secret.
Yeah, I think they want to keep it secret. Also, the war room in the house has been finished. But seeing as you've been in and around it, you probably already know. So if you need to discuss anything secret, you're welcome to use it.
Thank you. I'm hoping that when this barn is done, we can use some of that secretive magic on it that kept the old place secret.
Yeah, well, we won't tell the others to make it more secret.
Well, there is a reason why we're building it in the middle of the night. We're hoping to get it done by tonight, by the morning. Anyway, right. Well,
Is the girl who was walking around the house still there? Still around?
yeah.
I'm gonna go up to her and tell her and talk to her, and say, you should really work on your stealthiness. I saw you through the woods.
Well, I saw you in the house.
I know, but I wasn't trying to be hidden.
I wasn't trying to hide. Not really.
Heavily doubt, but okay. Well-
Fuck you then. she's like, okay, well, we'll see.
Okay. Just to prove my point, I'm just gonna go invisible and walk away. Sulk in the house. Bitch.
It's like some 9-year-old girl. You're like, you should get better, scrub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
If
I
you
was
do
better than her. That age.
if there is if you do want to do any quick assembly of things or what have you, you could always use Chinook's mansion. He can conjure a bunch of servants. I I think
Don't they have to stay in the mansion?
like that he can. I mean, well, they may be able to assemble things within there and then bring them out.
You will probably have remembered that Chinook mentioned that everything that comes out of the mansion turns into leaves.
Not if it's things that went into the mansion. Yeah,
Well, they took-
lumber goes in. Sorry,
Lumber.
lumber goes in. Furniture comes out.
So,
Lumber goes in, arthritis comes out.
you're completely discounting labor. You know, it's a
There's
big part of value added.
There's 100 soulless servants.
Yeah, slaves.
Oh God!
Think of them more like robots.
Oh right, so like you then.
No comment.
Alright, well, she says, it's okay. We've done the hardest part now. We've got the frame up.
Okay.
And one of the monks on top of the barn sort of whispers down, sort of quite loudly. It's like a passive aggressive whisper, like, "Tapman, come on!" And she's like, "Alright, I must get going."
Okay.
And Tapman goes off. And yeah, so I guess you eventually make your way back to the first wall.
Yep.
And everything's on fire.
Oh, not again.
Neruzita, you had to set up now. Right, well. Yeah, and as for the rest of your watch, nothing particularly happens.
Okay. Scrimshaw, do you want to do a watch?
Sure. I'll
Okay,
kind
let
of.
me go to bed.
I'll just kind of go on the carpet and like float up above the. Float up just above Usterwald, so I can survey the area.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
16.
Alright, now that you're aware of the people moving around the woods, it's not as freaky when you occasionally hear a crack or two. But no, nothing particularly happens during the night. No strange movements, no animals get too close or anything. You have a very peaceful night, staring at the stars above you, which sort of twinkle away. It's the first sort of night of peace, without really being super stressed, I suppose, in it quite well.
Jeez, might as well finish off the long rest up there and watch the sunrise with from the like horizon from being up in the sky.
Yeah, it's a nice sunrise. The sky is a sort of brilliant shade of red as the sun is rising, perhaps signaling bloodshed, but perhaps also just being for some other reason.
Just being red, because sometimes the sun does that.
Yeah, exactly. But people stir in the morning as the sun rises. Again, your breakfast is going to have to be quite frugal, I'm afraid, because there's nothing in the cupboards. But
Chinook, no, not yet. I was gonna say Chinook would jump into his mansion for some breakfast, some like a nice 7-course breakfast, but
Just
not yet.
casually use your 7th level spell slot for breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Chinook is willing to suffer for a good meal, but he's not going to yet.
I am going to attune from my Amulet of Striking Frost and attune to my boots of stealthiness that help me do stealth.
okay.
Alright.
What else does what's everyone else do?
Mike, the shield. I know I haven't mentioned this to you, but is that something you can attune to, or does it feel like there's no magical?
Oh, did I send you the shield stuff? I did, didn't I? Did I?
It's not in the
I might have forgotten to send it to you. Hang on. It's an arrow catching shield.
Okay.
So if you type in arrow,
Yeah.
arrow into the thing, Or 20, and it's like second one.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, one of those. Cool.
Shunnock's gonna go and find Gira.
Okay.
Gira's like hunched over something on the counter. Is she come and check? Oh, I'm just seasoning. Oh, ghastly creature. Oh, good morning, Sherlock.
What are you doing?
Oh, this? Oh, it's a rat.
Why do you have a rat?
To eat. Ridiculous.
Please,
Seasoning.
no, don't eat the rat. Gira, please, no. Gira, why?
Part of the cycle of life. I eat the rat. The rat gives me strength and use it to pummel our enemies.
And one day the rats eat you? Is that how that works?
I suppose.
Right. Anyway, are any of the others around, or?
They're around the house, but not particularly here at this moment.
Okay. So, Gira, you mentioned something about Shanda.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him? Do you hate him more? Do you hate him less?
Well, let's just say if I saw him, then my hammer would probably move rather quickly.
Hmm.
To understand, he's the reason, or part of the reason, that I'm here now, and that my people torment for many cycles. I hope you understand. I have a duty to get justice for that.
And when we do eventually fix Scrimshaw's noggin, what would you do if you wanted to protect him?
I don't know.
See, I don't tend to trust people with a lot of power. They tend to be dickheads. Shandia seems like a particularly powerful bloke. And by logic standards, at least in my noggin, that means he's also a bit of a dickhead. Also, considering all of the other evil shit he's done.
Sherlock. He kind of goes down on a knee almost. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I understand that, but
Trust me. I'm sure it'll be a lot easier than you think. And you detect a slight hint of sincerity in what Gira is saying. But you also feel like he might not be telling you the whole truth.
mm,
I don't know if I can say that, Mike. I've kind of done an deception, insight check for him.
Passive insight.
Yeah. Okay.
what aren't you telling me?
Nothing. Now, would you like to join me for this rat? Unless you have something else you'd like to talk about.
Shanak is giving you like this. He starts kind of just like looking you up and down, trying to gauge what it is up with this whole thing. I would suggest other seasoning. That doesn't really particularly go well with rat.
Oh. What would you suggest?
Well, have you Shunak just goes over and gets some like bay leaves and some sage, and he's like, "These work."
He's kind of looking over his shoulder. You see, I didn't really cook that much when I was the High Librarian. I did for the more other. Yes, please carry on. Kind of put his hand at his head, kind of carries on a bit.
Who cooked for you then? Because I've always had my invisible butlers to cook for me. That said, I do consider cooking an art form, and as a bard, I like to associate myself with all forms of art.
Oh, how delightful. Came across a number of interesting bardic texts in my time. A great deal on the Feywild, to be precise. Perhaps a more indulgent conversation at a later point. But in answer to your question about who cooked, the kobolds, of course.
You didn't have any special meals with a special someone? Maybe they cooked for you, you cooked for them? Probably tragically.
Rather not talk about that right now.
I understand.
But, bay leaves, please. Carry on.
Sure. Have you considered maybe how did you want that? Did you want it fried, stewed, made into a soup?
A stew, please.
Rat stew. Right. And Shannock, despite what Shannock said previously, he kind of gives off this idea that he doesn't know what he's doing. But he tries to make rat stew.
Okay.
All the while kind of saying, I know you don't want to talk about it, but I had someone I cared about once. Well, I still do. I don't know how much time's passed in the Feywild since. I don't know what's happened. And someone powerful got in the way of me and her. Now, I understand you're hurting, but I just want you to know, if you want to fucking stab, smash, burn, boil, or whatever the fuck it is you're going to do to hurt the person that's coming between you and whoever, I don't know, I'm with you.
Very kind of you, Shunak. Unfortunately, I think all I will have left, ironically, is my memories this time. But I hope I'm wrong.
Very well.
You should tell the others about your partner, girlfriend, person. Sorry, I've not talked like this in a long time. It's
Well,
naturally.
I'm going to be honest with you, Kira. I feel if I do, the rest of you may want to murder me. That said, rat stew.
Oh, well, okay. But please do hurry up.
Oh no, this is him handing it to you.
Oh,
What does it look? Chinook?
Sorry, what was that?
Does it look good?
I don't really know how rat stew's meant to look.
Okay, you can make a performance check.
Okay.
With advantage because you're not very good at cooking.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well, it's probably about as good as a rat stew can be, with not very much seasoning, and one rat, no vegetables. It's like a boiled rat in a bowl.
Soup.
Yeah. Also, definitely wasn't cooking long enough to be a stew. You're just like doing some magic to like superheat it.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining. Like,
Yeah, you know, it tastes alright. It's not, at
it's
least
a
nicely
rat.
seasoned.
Hmm. Oh, thank you very much, Shrek. May I?
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't going to eat its rat.
Melinda walks in and she's like, "Oh, do I smell rat?"
Oh, yes. Good morning, Melindra. Shunnock's been kind enough to stew a rat. Can I interest you in sharing some?
Sure.
Sherlock's like looking between the two, like forming thoughts in his brain. Like, is this like a delicacy in dragon culture? Have I just done
Yeah,
something
they're,
wrong?
they're so big that they can't catch them themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's like caviar to
Oh
dragons.
God!
Yeah.
You have to have like thousands of rats.
So, Shunnock, please cut the rat in two. Please put them in a separate bowl for her as well.
Oh, actually, if there's just one rat, I'm okay. I'm
Oh,
probably gonna
dear.
go hunting.
Are you? Hunting. Well,
Just for something before we set off for marathon.
Very well. Please do go and hurry. Yes. He turns back to the rat.
Will do. And she walks out. On the way out, she sees you, Mona, and Scrimshaw, and she nods and says, "I'll be back in a bit."
Okay.
Always slightly concerning when the dragon says they're going to go off hunting.
Comes back with
4
several
villages.
cows.
I've only raised like 6 villages. It's alright.
Just comes back like, you didn't like Darkbridge, did you?
It's even darker bridge from all of the soot and ash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you,
accidentally
like,
took over a dwarf stronghold. Sorry.
Those
like,
my
I- it's like you did hate those peasants that did the revolt, right?
Gira takes the bowl and goes into the dining room and sits down on a chair with a small knife and fork. He kind of examines them in his hands, and I never understood the point of these. They're far too small. And he just kind of then grabs his hands and lifts the bowl, and just in one fell swoop, with complete like ambivalence to whatever's in it, just like downs it in one. Not even really giving the taste receptors enough time to even register there's something there. And
Shunnock
drinks
comes
it in
very close to vomiting.
Roxanne's just staring in admiration.
Shunnock is probably just nibbling at a loaf of bread. After all this, he doesn't really have much of an appetite.
Oh, that was delicious. Thank you very much, Shunnock. And, oh, apologies, Roxanne. I forgot to offer you any.
No, that's alright. I've got my own secret stash.
What do you have in your secret stash? Is it all of the food?
It's just jerky most.
How much fucking jerky do you have?
Yeah.
He sets down a massive bag of jerky on the table.
Yeah, I've got quite a lot of jerky as well, actually. Not that much though.
Imagine Roxanne needs a lot of protein.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, this is just breakfast.
Have you ever considered the fine art of eating a vegetable?
Nope.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, you were there. Don't they only have turnips in the Frosty Peaks? Or
Oh, good
cabbage?
morning, Mona. Good morning. Ha ha ha.
Yep. Hi.
Yeah, turnips, cabbage. No, not cabbage. No, turnips mostly.
Do you have iceberg lettuce?
What's that?
Never mind. Ha
Okay.
ha
Right. Well, I suppose it's time we go. Well, let's wait for Melinda. Kind of starts pacing a bit. Right.
She comes back soonish,
Okay.
having eaten her fill of a deer or something.
Gira turns to Shunnock or Scrimshaw and goes, right, which one of you fine, gentle people will be getting us to Baratham?
I think maybe I should.
Scrimshaw will see that everyone has gathered and fly down from over the top of the house. Well,
You're gonna have to squeeze in between Gira and Chinook because Roxon destroyed 3 of the chairs.
That's why they're marked off. Oh, yeah.
so I'll just can I just have the carpet kind of bend at the middle
Oh,
so that
that's
it
cool.
forms like a chair?
Like a hammock.
No, I mean more like it's like just a right angle.
Oh my god, you can just sit here, I'll stand up. It's fine. I'll still stand up.
He's like the kid at school who's got the new a new phone or something. He's like showing off all the things he can do.
There you go. I'll stand.
My issues have Healy.
Right, and once you teleport us there, you're going to go and direct me to wherever you last saw the oak bull, yes?
Well, I won't be. The other 2 can. I've never been.
Oh, I thought I thought we weren't going in. We're banned from the
yes,
city.
we are.
Well, you are.
Well, if you want to dress up in some frilly clothes, be my guest, but I'm not.
I mean, Gira doesn't have to worry because he's not fucked off a lot of people. I don't have to worry because I haven't fucked. I mean, yes, I have fucked off a lot of people,
Not these.
but I haven't
people.
fucked off the people here, and that's important. I don't think that's a man. I don't think Melindra has. I don't
Not
think.
as far as I can tell.
Melinda will be fine.
It's the other 3 I'm worried about. 2. I know at least 2 of you are banned from Barathon. I don't know about Roxon.
Yeah, Roxanne as well.
Right, so we need to find ways to disguise all 3 of you because, let's be honest, the 3 of you do look rather distinct.
I've got
I mean,
some elf clothes, I'll go and put
look,
them on.
It's not like they won't be aware that those travelling with Gira are us.
I mean,
They'll
yes,
be aware
but
of who Gira is and recognise him. If we're with him, that will rouse suspicion.
Well, if you like...
Melindra says, "Well, only if it's if you make a big mess of it. The average people will know who you are, or know who Gira is for that matter. Only if you happen to stumble across a magister or something."
Oh, that
This
is
is
definitely gonna
exactly
happen.
why I like Melindra. Keen mind.
Thanks again. Sitting a lot of back. Just I'm starting to not feel very appreciated, Gira.
Oh, tremendously sorry. My hearing is still not great, and my eyesight is poor.
Melindra, she's this, Melindra's that, and I'm just here like, thanks. I'm trying my best.
are you jealous, Morna?
Yeah! It'd be nice to be paid a compliment once in a while. Is oh no, save some all for Melindra.
Honor,
Yeah.
you have lovely legs.
Stabbing skills. Wow!
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they
Shut.
make me run fast.
Charlotte spits out like a whole bunch of tea.
You have very nice scales, Gira.
Oh,
What that
thank
about you?
No, thank you. It's very kind of you to say. And
I've always, sorry, Gira. I've always appreciated how flat your hair is.
all right, Mike. All right, Mike.
Did she say Morna?
I think he's talking about the photo.
Melindra. Melindra said that to you.
Oh, thinks it keeps me aerodynamic.
Is she like
That's
just
actually
looks at
how she.
Scripture?
That's how she
Like,
goes so fast.
Yeah.
It's the secret to her speed.
Yeah.
You ever seen a monk with an afro? I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh well, there goes my theory.
Samurai shampoo.
But he's a
Who's
samurai.
sorry? Who's
Yeah.
who's this shampoo and what's a samurai?
Yeah, samurai shampoo. He's not saying
Samurai.
that.
Samurai is sub fighter.
I know he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
Gothric was a samurai.
Melinda, back to your point, if I may. Apologies. I think we'll be fine. As long as if you want to track ahead a little bit, I'll follow you. I'm sure to garner more attention. He's a massive hammer that's like constantly alight, basically. But do dress yourself up in whatever frilly costumes, and if perhaps rendezvous here in 5 minutes, and shall we go?
Well, I mean, it'll be hard to really. Yeah, I mean, if Gira's going to not be disguised, it's going to be pretty difficult to enter Baratheon through the teleportation circle and be under the radar.
Which is why I'm going to teleport us there, because I'm not bound to teleportation circles.
I just feel like it would
So-
be better to save the teleportation. I suppose we could always recall it. Couldn't we? If it's just if they catch us, we're gonna need to leave immediately.
Yeah, and no modifying memory.
Oh, that was the last gear. This gear would probably just smash them in the face. No, I don't know.
Well,
It's modifying
never-
their memory in a different way. They'll
Yeah,
lose all
I mean,
that.
depending on how hard you do it,
Joking.
that could be worse.
No, it will be fair and just. The people of Baratheon will have to see reason one way or another. If they refuse to help, then they are basically on the side of Naxos, and, are quite positively insane.
Right. Should we teleport to Baratheon now?
Let me get my clothes on first. I'm gonna go and put my elf clothes on that I bought.
Right,
Last
sure.
time you were in Baratheon, so you can use this to teleport.
That's a good chat. Good, very good thinking, one. And Scrimshaw, can you deal with Roxxon, please? I don't want a giant bald creature walking the streets that wants to be. Whatever.
I'll go find my disguise kit.
Very good, very good.
Get my little ear fake, my fake elf ears out, like
Little
Zoomer
putty.
Square on TikTok.
Can I cast Disguise Self on Scrimshaw before we go as well, so that he doesn't look like a walking metal wood bone man of doom with horns?
Yeah.
He will allow that.
Yeah, you are. You are now a rather thin, snooty-looking noble human.
And
Looking down at myself, do I see any difference?
no, because of which side?
Yeah. So I know I can see the true form.
You know
but,
that
yeah.
you are. I think it would be like when you have two layers on Photoshop and they're
Right.
like the 50% opacity, so you can sort of
Yeah.
see both at the same time.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're not
maybe.
just unaware of. They would be like, everyone's like, oh, why is that like dragon in front of us? And you're just like, what? They're just like a regular person. What are you on about?
See,
You there, Mike?
Mike.
Tell there, Mike.
oh, did I cut out? Oh, I
Yeah.
was just saying that if you can see someone's true form, you can probably garner the.
Cut out again, but I think we got the gist.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. Well,
Um,
I'll put together Morna's disguise. Well, Morna and Roxxon's disguises.
Yeah, glue on my my elf ears with my sovereign glue. I'm not gonna do that.
I want to be an elf so bad.
Yeah, I want that Elven accuracy. Damn it.
Alright, well, should we take a break then?
Okay,
Yep.
good. 'cause I need a break.
Sure.
Well,
Sure.
Right, I'll
Yeah, I'll,
transition the stream.
Yeah, alright then.
Back in a bit.
25 or half past? Hello, welcome back. So just before the break, the party had a bit of a chill morning at Darkbridge, before planning to head to Barathon to try and find the lingering magical energies that have been left behind, that the librarian might be able to tap into and track. Strangers ended up going, and when Marathon
Lagging out again.
Someone doing? Bruh.
I will try lowering the bitrate on this channel down to
Yeah, try that.
32.
As I'll just.
Okay, it's down to 32.
Okay, hopefully that's better.
I could also try changing the server region, though it might
Oh,
not make a
let's see-
difference
let's
if it's
see.
your end.
Yeah, let's see how that is first.
Okay.
Can you hear me better?
Sounds okay right now.
Yeah.
It hasn't
Okay.
cut out yet.
Sure. Right. Okay. So, did you hear what I said?
Yes. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what? Yeah. So the plan is to get to Barathon. So who's doing that?
I can teleport us there because I don't have to rely on the circle. I just need to touch Morna's special elf clothes.
Yeah, I bought them in Barathon.
Oh yeah. So we wouldn't have to. Yeah, but I'll draw less attention.
And just before it does, Gira kind of throws his cane that he's been using since the start, just kind of on the desk and in the table. And he doesn't
Okay.
really feel like he needs it.
Ah,
Right
he
now.
was faking it the whole time.
All right. So Chinook, as you begin the cast of the teleport, using the items that Morna had acquired before from Barathon, you focus, and the weaves of magic that you attuned to with your flute end up, so that it ends up teleporting you to the city of Barathon. So you end up. Do I have the city here? I guess I do. Alright, so there's a flash. Ignore that. That was from ages ago. That was a plan. Alright, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, so there's a flash of light as you appear in one of the dark alleys of the sort of noble districts. No one seems to notice your appearance, but you look up at the high grey walls that surround you, and you notice you are most definitely in Barathon. The city stands before you.
Right, we should get moving as soon as possible. I don't want to be here any longer than we have to.
Yep. Scrimshaw, Morna, Oxon, please lead the way. And,
Well,
shall I look at myself?
I mean, there
Well,
wasn't
I'm-
really any one particular place. It just appeared wherever you willed it to.
Sorry, I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace because I feel like we should be trying to, keep out of view. Just like, not like, more like hide in plain sight type. Be just under the radar,
Yeah.
Not like in the shadows hiding, but just like try and.
Doctor Who perception filter.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so Pass Without a Trace is goes off. Garnered much attention at all, which is good.
Well, please think back. When was the first time you ever encountered the Opal?
Was around here, I think.
think
I
it
seem
was
to
by
remember
number
it being
5.
over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Near a sandwich shop. I think.
Do you remember the name of the sandwich shop?
Oh, it's been years.
Go back to my.
Yeah, if you remember, I don't.
I remember there was the guy that worked there had a son that was going off to college, I think. That's not helpful, that's just what I can remember.
Yeah, let's go to every college.
Does your dad work at a sandwich shop?
Sandwich shop.
It could be closed now anyway.
Yeah, time to change.
It could be a bakery or a
Well,
library.
do you remember the basic way there? Just
I mean,
please.
we can have a look. I'll try and recall the vague area where it was and take us in that direction.
Sure. Yeah, none of you are like locals to Baratheon, so it is like a town that you went to a year and a half ago and you don't quite remember.
It's a town that Sherlock's never gone to, so he's like, wow.
Yeah, if we didn't have to be sneaky, then I'd just fly up and get a bird's eye view and
Yeah.
be a lot easier. But
yeah, so Chinook and Gira, as you're walking down the streets of the city, you feel this sort of ancient, not Lavari sort of architecture, and it's not Mistran. It's like it was clearly made by the humans who lived in this region in alliance with the Mistrans who were there. So this is like archetypal Nestfen, high sort of wooden roofs that are designed to keep rain and grit and snow off. The walls of this inner part of the city are 30 foot high, grey stone with ornate marbling, ornate sort of details crafted into them with gargoyles and all sorts of Gothic architecture. To your north, as you're walking through the city, you see the I think it's called the Ten Spire. Hang on, let me just check. It's been a while since we've got to Baratheon, so I just need to. Yeah, the Ten Spires. So north of you is this sort of interconnected palace, made of a lot of independent standing buildings that are connected by this inner wall, and every certain area has this big tower which comes off the wall, which is one of the 10 spires that surround here. So this area is called the 10 spires, and all sorts of things can be seen around there. This is the sort of richest area, so you see a lot of nobles and rich merchants selling high-end stuff. But because one is passed without a trace, you manage to just slip in through the crowd. No one really pays you any heed of mind.
Has the spire that got blown up been repaired?
Oh yeah. So that spire. When did it get blown up?
I think it was well over a year ago, right? I think it was before the year of downtime.
Yes, that's right. So that particular one, you see that they've started to repair it, but it takes a long time to do these sort of things, and there's sort of like a wooden scaffold that's around it.
Yeah, you don't have cranes.
It was session 10.
Yeah.
Session 10?
Or 11. I didn't actually.
Yeah, it was like the last thing you did in Baratheon, wasn't it?
It's literally as we walked
Out
out
with
of
a
the
bang.
city, and then behind you, you saw we could see
Yeah,
the
that was it.
explosion.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
cool,
no,
guys.
no,
Don't look
no.
at explosions.
Exactly. So you make your way through the north gate. There's only sort of 3 gates into this area. You make your way through the sort of north western gate, and you end up coming through walking through the graveyard that you walked through before, where those bandits were.
Yeah.
Looking back and noticing the times that you spent there looking for Professor Methrick, his secret.
Yeah.
And then you end up walking through the Agora. There's this sort of lovely park that not many people are out at the moment. It's quite chilly, but there's a few people walking, lovers sitting on benches chatting with each other.
Sorry, you're cutting out
Yeah,
again.
you've cut out again, Mike.
I'll try lowering the bitrate even more. Down to
Alright,
down to
apologies to
16
anyone who has
now.
to hear this terrible.
Yeah, because I think it did help. Because when you were lagging, but it was
Yeah.
we could still hear you, whereas before
Yeah.
it was completely cutting out.
I think my housemate.
Oh,
Okay.
it's done it again.
Let's see if I can connect to my phone, maybe.
We need a technical difficulties slide for OBS.
It should be Scrimshaw like floating on the carpet, like an animation.
It should be Clive with an engineer's hat on and a wrench.
No.
Oh, I've got a
that
fun fact. The day we found the Oak Bull was also the same day we decided to be the Clive 5. This is
Oh.
my
Oh.
notes.
That's very
Is
nice.
that true? Didn't you get Clive in like session 3 or something?
Yeah, but we decided to call the group Clive 5 in session 4, which is when we found the Oak Bull. Which we had to bribe a merchant for a direction for 5 gold. Which was a lot back.
5 gold?
Gold.
Yeah, it's like 500
Alright,
quid.
well... Alright, so can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did cut out just a tiny bit at the end of that sentence, but...
So,
Oh. And it's cutting out again.
Guys, hold the You will level up.
Well... Anyone know any jokes? Other than Mike's
My
internet
life.
connection?
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello?
Alright, well... Yeah, just... I have to do this on my phone for now.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright. Well, yeah,
Oh
Mike,
no, that's lagging
It's
as
still
well.
not. It's still not working, mate.
Yeah, that's still cutting out. I'll try switching server regions. It probably won't do anything, but...
just gonna 4G it.
All right.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just gonna 4G it because my internet's
Alright. Okay.
Rest in peace.
Alright, well, yeah. So, where were we? Okay, so we've made our way into the Green Hills district. Trying to retrace your steps to see where the Oak Bull is, and you find the now closed down sandwich shop and boarded up.
Oh.
No!
Oh.
And you know that it was just the alley just down beside it.
Alright, well... I mean, here's where we first found it. But, like I said, it moved around the place. It was pretty much wherever you willed it to be.
Kira kind of stands, looking down the alley, kind of sniffs the air almost for a second, and I think I might need to pull out the a little bit more for this. And are there many people around, Mike?
No, not particularly at this time of year. In fact, it does seem like this area of town has taken a bit of a downward swing. I mean, it looks. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference because you've never been here before, but it does look like a bit run down, and it looks like it may have once been a quite middle class or like affluent area, and now it's looking a bit rubbish. Clearly, the policies of Lord Backfire are not. They're backfiring.
Oh. Okay. Gira takes a few paces down the alley, and then kind of grabs his hammer and turns it so that the hammer bit is facing towards the ground. And the kind of almighty against the ground. He bangs it, and you see all these sparks flying off the ground, and he uses he's kind of looking away from the party, so they can't quite see the front of what it looks like. He uses the avatar of the librarian.
Okay. So everyone, you all watch as Gideon We're
But hey guys.
Gideon arrives. No. Gira begins to focus, and as he hits his hammer down, suddenly there's a bit of a crack in the floor as you watch as two divine spectral wings shoot out of his back, and all the dust in the area around just sort of like shoots up into the air and hovers there for a moment. As seemingly the light springing off these wings is like sort of shining at this dust, and the dust begins to move in this strange way. It seems to like connect with the weave of magic, and Gideon begin. Oh, I keep saying Gideon. Gira begins to sort of like look at the way that these dust particles are interacting with each other. For you, Gira, as you focus and look at the flow of magic, something that you've done before in your role as the librarian, but a long time ago now, you can read these remnants fairly easily. Magic tells a story, and the story that this is telling is that something has been pulled out of its natural order. The oak bull, which was once here, which was once lived in the space around Baratheon within the walls, at the moment that the oak bull returned, it was intercepted. Clearly someone in Baratheon had been ready and waiting for it. And all the signs are pointing towards the Arcanum in Baratheon. The people who originally wanted to capture Mastamantha before, the reason that they went into hiding, and the Arcanum now, the evidence is clear that at some point it did return, but at that moment it was intercepted, and must be somewhere within the Arcanum. The Arcanum of Baratheon.
Kira turns around to face the party, and his eyes are, very glistening, and he looks, almost like some kind of spirit is within him, like combined weight of, almost the previous librarians that have been before, and he kind of looks at them all and recounts that to the party.
Okay, so we need to get into the Arcanum.
Oh, that's gonna be difficult.
Why?
They don't like us in there.
They don't like you in there. They like me. Well, they don't know me.
Yeah, you have to. Don't use any lights. You can't use a torch. You can only use magical light. If you bring a fire in there, they'll kick you out.
Yeah,
Fire?
if a
has a fireball and...
Yeah, if a pompous arsehole tells you to use an oil lamp or a candle or something in there, don't believe him.
In Morna's words from session 5, Basil told us she would use a candle in the archives, and we got arrested. Basil was Lord Blackfire's son. Basil is a dick. There you go. That's about as much as you need to know about him. He works in the Arcanum, well, as long as he did last time we were there.
No, the last time we were Baratheon, he wasn't working for the Arcanum.
Does he not? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because he's Lord Blackfire's son. But
It was
I just
sort of
assumed
like
he's...
internship, or like sort of like his father had said get a job.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe you could just go and blag your way in.
I mean,
If he is there, just stroke his ego.
It's really dark in there, so I'd probably just come in with you.
just his ego?
I mean, I don't know what he's
Stroke his
into.
hair.
Does
don't think-
anybody else have anything to add here before I make my decision, Melindra?
What?
Well, you're just well. I mean, I don't know anything about this area. I don't. I'm kind of out of my place here. I'm here as backup.
When you say your decision, what do you mean? Because you know we're a group and we're a team and we make decisions together.
Right now, the time is ticking, Morna, and if democracy falters, then I will fall into the role I have for many years.
Don't start ordering me around. We are a team and we make decisions together.
Maybe so, but if it is the difference between us all dying and having to make a quick decision, then it will be made.
Remember, Naxos is the real enemy here.
Indeed.
Yeah. Just
Right now, the only enemy I care about is the fact that my stomach is ridiculously empty. Let's get this over and done with so that we can eat something.
yeah,
That
okay.
sound good?
Well,
Right.
Indeed. We'll head over there, and we will speak to whoever's at the desk.
I can talk to them
Right.
because they'll know Scrimshaw, they'll know Morna, but they don't know me.
Yeah, but I'm disguised, and also I can just. Be
I am
invisible and-
I am also much better at talking to people than you are.
Oh, it's dark in the Arcanum, right?
It
They're all
is, yes.
really
You
dark.
could definitely sneak in.
Yeah,
Like,
so I'll just sneak in with you and meet you in there.
Well, worst case, I trust you in every capacity to sneak and do what you have to do. If it means diverging from us, please do.
It's probably best I don't enter.
I mean, you're disguised as well. You're just a pompous, snooty
Yes,
asshole.
but I'm disguised as, you know,
Vanilla Warforged.
I'm disguised using a low-level spell, and we're going into a building full of magic users and
Scrimshaw!
such.
How dare you! I mean, yeah, it's a low-level spell.
Right. So, what's the plan?
Chinook is going to go in by bartering his way in, and I'm going to sneak in. And we're looking for the oak ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sneak in because I can just be invisible, so I can do that in the whole place.
Not to Melindra says, not to throw a wrench in things, but I think Hero might have to come because he'll be able to find where they might be keeping him.
Well,
Actually-
yeah, I imagine Giro was going to come with me.
I
Wow.
intend to come along with Chinook through the main
Oh,
door.
okay.
May I suggest that Roxanne, hello Alex, and Grimshaw maybe buy a drink.
Oh, do you want to just catch Alex up just a sec?
Yes. So, no, actually somebody else did.
Give me a
Giro
sec.
got his memories back.
No, you
We're
don't.
going to find the oak ball.
Oh.
Yeah,
We're in
around.
Marathon right now. You
Oh,
look different.
Oh, cool. I mean, my memory of the last, say, couple of hours is just completely gone, so...
We can have a chat about it, Alex, if you want afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you and I are gonna wait outside while Chinook talks his
catch up like
way
old
in with
friends.
Gira, and Morna sneaks in separately. I think Melindra, do you want to stay with us or?
I'll stay with you. I think it would be strange if two Dragonborn were to show up asking questions.
Indeed.
And I don't want to reveal my true form here, especially after the
The
Well,
incident in BL.
yes, which I'm sure they're on high alert.
Right on.
Well, we have the sending stones if you need us.
Right. Well,
Okay.
us three then. Let's find somewhere to lay low. I'm sure that we can find an inn or something that no one will quite recognize us.
Famous
then.
last words.
I might have to pretend to drink, but I think there's enough room in my throat to keep one.
Just remember, you're a snooty nobleman.
Okay, if I get a glass of wine or a liquor of some kind, then maybe I can sip it, and then I won't have to put so much
And act like you can't
stuff
hold
in
your
my
liquor.
body.
Rich types tend not to be particularly great at that.
I'll just sip it and not draw attention to ourselves
That might
by
be a problem for
vomiting in the
me.
middle of the bar.
Also, I would keep an eye on your coin purse if you're a snooty rich person and you're going to find a pub in the slums or something.
Looking brittle might be a problem for me. I am rather big.
Oh no, you don't look like a snooty rich person, just Scrimshaw.
Oh, that's fine then. Wait, what am I then?
Oh yeah, you
Um,
just look like Roxanne. We just thought we'd give it a go.
We did. I gave
No,
you
something.
Oh, I used my disguise kit and gave you white face.
What if I have like a little mustache? Nobody will know. Who I
it's just
Yeah, the mustache
nice
is there.
twirly mustache.
am.
Just a Brighto marks, like, sort of, like, glasses and mustache.
The perfect disguise.
Alright, so 3, Scrimshaw, Melindra, and Roxanne. You part ways with the group then, and go off and find somewhere.
Before we do that, I'm gonna ask Chinook and Scrimshaw to swap.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did we definitely not?
Hearing
Did we not get
things.
them linked to all 5 of us?
I thought Aaron did it, but but we don't know for sure.
I think that did. I'll say that did happen.
Okay, cool.
Okay. No need then.
I think it did.
Yeah, I know we had the discussion, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
can't
I
remember if it
think that did happen. When you swear it.
cool.
Alright, so do you guys know your way to the Arcanum?
I've been there before, so they.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Lead on, Mona.
I think it's number 7, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So you,
Yeah, we walk through. Once we get outside, I'll cast Pulsar Trace again because I think it only lasts for 10 minutes.
yeah, you'll need to cast it again.
Yeah,
'Cause
cool.
the walk is quite long.
That was an hour.
Let's have a look. Oh, it is an hour.
So I think I'll just about be okay by the time you get there. Then you'll probably need to cast it again.
Okay, well, I'll just cast it again. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fresh
Right.
situation.
So in that case, you begin the walk to the Arcanum, following the south wall, the wall south, across the river, and you end up at the gates of the Arcanum. You don't get noticed really particularly. No one really pays you much heed. Everyone's busy doing their own thing and living their own life, and most of the nobles that live around here they're not really that nosy about people walking past. So you eventually make your way to the gates of the Arcanum. The large stone steps rising up to the big circular stone building, which hosts the Great Library of Baratheon. The large oak doors that enter into the sort of holding area with the entrance desk is manned by a 20-something, maybe year old magister, a young man who is just currently poring over some work. As you enter, he looks up and says, "Hello."
Hello there. We would like some entry into the Arcanum.
Well, are you a magister?
Not particularly, but we do have some very important business there.
Well, I'm sure that you probably know that only magisters or people who have been invited by magisters are allowed into the Arcanum.
Ah,
Oh, Shrek, did you forget again? I must apologize. My name is Gira. I have been invited in. Please.
Ah, okay.
Lagging out a bit. Oh, everyone's lagging out. Is it the Discord? Or is it just me? I can't hear anyone. Is it everyone or is it me?
Across. No. Okay.
Gira's ever come across.
Oh,
No.
I think we're back.
Hello?
Hello.
hello.
Was
Yeah,
it
that was you.
or just us two?
two?
Was it both of us?
Yeah, I couldn't hear anyone, and then I disconnected.
Weird.
I must confess, young man, I can't entirely remember the name of it, but to authenticate the legitimacy of my claim, have a look at this. And then Gira kind of like shows him the hammer, and like sparks fly out of it. He kind of puts a bit of performance into it. Oh, we were really hoping that whoever's in charge here would be able to have a look at it. You understand, and I'm sure I understand too, that the magistrates here appreciate artifacts of this caliber.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, let me get let me get maybe someone who knows more about what you're saying. Just stay here a moment. Please, don't touch anything. And he gets up and walks up the stairs.
Is up the stairs? Is up the stairs the only way out
No,
of the
so
room?
No, so there's there's a sort of staircase that goes up into the main magisterium, and then there's like a large door behind the desk which enters into the library. But the library has obviously the library will have entrances into the magisterium as well.
I kind of just nod at Gira and look at the door. Should we?
We shall wait, although, oh no.
Yeah, I'll go.
Very good.
Okay.
Just tell them that I got bored and went to press it.
Very well. Best of luck.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of go into the door, through the door, and into the library. As soon as it gets dark, I'm gonna turn invisible.
Alright, so you're invisible in there.
Mm-hmm.
Have you casted Dark Vision?
No, but I will.
So once you cast Dark Vision, you have a idea of the layout of the library. The library is massive. It's basically the whole lower floor of the Magisterium, the whole ground floor. And there's a sort of spiral staircase in the center of the library, which goes up into multiple floors, and the multiple floors have sort of balconies, which go up maybe a couple more floors, which have doors around the outside of them, which go into the other parts of the Magisterium. Now you're not quite sure really what you're looking for in here, but you notice that there's a whole bunch of magisters who are studying. They're walking around the library, but they, you know, you're just passively stealthy enough to be able to dodge them.
Yeah, maybe I don't really know what I'm looking for. I was just getting in a different way. Maybe I'll go to the O, look for the oak ball in the O section.
You go there and you see a great pub door.
Not doing anything else, just for all the S for the strangers. Maybe it's there. I don't know. Where else would they keep it?
Okay, well, you go to... I mean, there's just books here. Pretty much.
Well, maybe,
but you go,
you know,
go
show
to the other
people.
section. Alright, make an investigation check for me.
Okay. 21.
Okay, so you have a look around the library. You go to the O section, and there's nothing to do with the oak ball there. But you do have a look around, and you do notice that there is a section dedicated to the logs of a lot of the higher up magisters, because obviously everything they do is tracked and recorded and logged. And you begin to flick through one of the notebooks there, and you go around the time back, sort of in the logs, around the time back when the oak ball was reappearing, and you notice that there is a lot of writing by a lot of magisters there. You know, they're talking about utilizing a certain kind of artifact. Sorry, hang on just a section. Yeah, so you notice that there's they're using a kind of artifact that is able to interfere with teleportation magic and stuff, and like drag things out of demi-planes and so to change the appearance of it to where where it is. And you notice that the section of the magisterium that is part of is on the top floor, under sort of secret relics, and there's an area of the magisterium which is dedicated to secret relics, and all of their most prized possessions are all up there.
I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, you can do that, Charlotte. That's fine.
Cheers.
Okay.
Maybe should I wait for everyone else?
I mean, this is taking you probably about 20 minutes of looking around currently, so we'll go to the other.
Okay,
We'll go to
go
the
for
other
it.
thing. After about 10 minutes, the Magister comes back, along with an older Magister, who's clearly been interrupted with something important. He's not looking particularly happy, but as he comes down, he looks at you and says, Gira, and Shunnock, and he says, I thought I recognized the name that Magister Favre said. You are Gira of the Clyde Five.
That is correct. And
Well,
you, maybe?
My name is Magister Castian Gilperos. I am the head magister here, in Barathon. Now, I am not entirely sure what it is that you want from me. You clearly know much more about this hammer than I do.
You see, we don't really. We were hoping that there might be something within your wonderful library that might hold some form of clue as to what it is and what it can do.
Make a persuasion check.
Cool. I have glibness up, so
Yeah.
that means if this doesn't go well, it can just be a 15 plus my persuasion, which is another 15.
What?
Casual minimum 30.
Yeah.
It is a 8th level spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
very nice,
I'm
camp
just gonna
spells.
click it for
Love
fun. Yeah. So so it's just a 30, I guess.
Okay.
Even a natural one
He looks at you
normally
and-
a bad.
Yeah.
He looks at you and says, well, normally I wouldn't do this, but this is a strange time. You see, there have been a lot of attacks on. There's obviously the attack on VL. So if the protectors of the Empire are here to ask questions of me, then I suppose I am your loyal servant, no matter what Lord Blackfire thinks.
That is most gracious of you. I am very appreciative, and I'm sure Shunake too does. Your efforts and your candor will ensure the Empire lives long. Wait, do I mean Empire?
Yeah.
Probably not. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
He says, well, very well. I think we should probably talk about this in my office. He turns to Magister Farf and says, very well done there, Magister. How about you don't speak of this to anyone? And he says, oh, of course, of course. And,
Can I flick like a single gold at him as like a little tip?
Sure, that is a strange thing. Like he looked at that and he's like, what? No one tips me. Okay.
I just shrug as I leave, like, free gold.
Right. Yeah. He pockets it. And Castian turns around and leads you up the stairs up into the upper tiers of the Magisterium. Morna, as you're sort of going around the library, you notice sort of on the second floor, one of the doors is open, and you see Gira and Chinook being led by a Magist. By actually, you recognize Castian because you got told off by him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was quite a while ago, but you recognize the Magister that's leading them, and take of that as you wish. What do you want to do?
I don't know now. So I want to go up and look at the special artifacts. But if it looks like the security's too tight, I won't get past. I'm gonna not do that.
Okay. Well, it's your choice. It doesn't look like the security's particularly high.
Alright, I'll go and look at these special artifacts then. As long as there's
Okay,
a window I
so-
can jump out of at some point.
So you end up sort of like trailing behind the corridor that Kira and Chinook is being led through. You notice on the walls there's all sorts of like old paintings of the older head magisters who had lived in times before. There's an entire corridor of them going back maybe 400, 500 years.
Shunnock gets a very strong urge to sneakily draw a mustache on one of them, but bites down and has to move forward.
Nice.
One of them, you recognize, Kira, is a portrait of Aaron Shander.
Oh fuck!
Oh. That's an
Um,
interesting fact, and you'd need to write on my notes.
Gira speaks to Gilfrossius. Oh, for all the magisters who have graced these halls, any personal favorites?
Well, High Magister Galmet, I have to say, was one of the best magisters of all time. He managed to map a lot. He did the construction process on a lot of the teleportation circles around, not just Baratheon, but the whole of the Free Cities. And unfortunately, he died quite young.
And what
But-
of Shander? He seems to have an awful look to him.
Carry on.
Ah, you recognize him, do you?
No. Oh, did it not like have like a name under it?
They do.
Yeah.
But like you pointing it out, he looks and says, "Yes, High Magister Shanda did all sorts of incredible things for the Free Cities. I mean, he was there right from the start. At the end of the fall of the Lavari Empire, he was the Magister to the King for a long time, an emissary across the whole known world." And afterwards, he ended up working in Baratheon for a few years before he retired. He was he still lives somewhere in the Eastwood, actually. For last I heard.
Yeah, very curious. I've heard of Baron Shanda being a dragonborn. It was said that he was one of the such emissaries as you mentioned that travelled to all through the basalt isles. And saw the Kara Concord in their heady days. What a sight that must have been.
What a good knowledge of our history you have. Yes, that was certainly one of his duties. But he also went. He was also an emissary to places like Adana, the far-off Elflands. That there was one of the good reasons of having an elf as a High Magister is that he could really go anywhere.
Indeed, he certainly could go anywhere and do anything. Gira says with a hint of annoyance.
So he leads you down to the end of the corridor. Mona, you're trailing behind secretly.
Mm-hmm.
He opens up the door to his office and ushers Gira and Chinook inside. Mona, you notice that the secret relics section is a bit further down, maybe on a floor above.
Okay, I'm gonna carry on going down. Beautiful.
All right. So make an investigation check for me, Mona. Again, just see how quickly you find it. Okay. So whilst you're looking for the secret relics, Castian sits down at the table and says, "Well then, what can I do for you?"
Gira puts the hammer on the side of the desk, not on the desk. That'd be a bit violent.
Smashes the desk in two.
I was hoping if you could do a bit of an analysis on this hammer. You see, it came into our possession a while ago, rather abruptly, and we just can't quite figure out what it is. And, yes, and we were maybe wondering if you had any artifacts of a similar veneer or.
Well, we certainly have a lot of artifacts here. This, I'm sure you're aware, is clearly of dragon make. It's very old indeed. It seems to be at least a couple of thousand years old. Repaired a few times, clearly. Points to like pieces of the handle which have been changed or upgraded, or and he points to some of the etchings and says, some of these etchings were not part of the original forging of the hammer. These clearly came later. As the Kyra Concord became more and more advanced in its technology and its methods, clearly they held this hammer in some sort of reverence, and they did not like to change it. They did not like to, well, replace it at least. They liked to just keep it spick and span. I do have a spell for this, though. Maybe I can have a bit more of a knowledge about its history. And he begins to cast cast legend lore on it.
Nice.
How long does that take? It takes a little time, doesn't it? Oh no, casting time 10 minutes. Yeah. So whilst he's doing that, he's just focusing on that. Are you doing anything whilst he's just doing that?
Well, Gira's kind of smiling quite slyly because he's hoping he'll figure out who he is when he does it.
Shonix kind of scan the room, see if he can notice anything out of the ordinary.
In Castian's office is quite minimalist, really. He's got a few clearly magical books and tomes on his bookshelf. He's got a stack of papers on the desk, which is just, it could be anything. It's just anything he's been working on recently. There's also a sort of another. There's like a chest in the corner of the room. It probably has some stuff in it. But other than that, it's just normally it's decorated with just quite garish paintings and tapestries on the walls and the like.
Well, then I guess I'm just going to kind of sit back with my arms crossed and just kind of wait with Gira.
All right, so Morna then. All right, so you eventually make your way up to the top floor. You notice that one of the inner rooms, so one that does not have any windows attached to it, there is a big door that has the sign "Secret Relics" on it.
I'm sorry. That's just funny to me.
Yeah.
All of our secrets are in this room with lots of arrows pointing towards it neon sign.
Well, it's like that sort of thing when, like in companies, they just have like all the once you're in the company, they just have like passwords and shit, like just like posted on signposts and like sticky notes all over the place and like.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so it's secret until you're there.
Wait, you mean they don't use LastPass here?
Yeah, they basically it's one of those things that they don't want to like hide it because the magisters who are interested in it don't want to get lost and stuff. But like, yeah, it is quite funny like looking at it.
Okay, well, does the door open?
It's not like a big neon sign that says this is a secret. It's like
It's got a is that a quest marker?
Yeah. But yeah, the door is in front.
Is it open?
It's
locked.
No, the door's locked.
Can I knock on the door?
Yeah. You knock on the door.
Then I
you hear a
run
bit of
backwards a bit so that no one can see me.
Okay,
No,
well,
I'm invisible anyway, but just I don't want to be near it.
All right. Well, you hear a bit of a shuffling behind the door, and after a couple of moments, the door opens, and a magister pops his head round, looking for someone.
Can I shadow
Hello?
step behind him?
Yeah, make a stealth check for me. You still got pass without a trace on.
36.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you shadow step into the room, and the magister says, "Huh, must have been a
The wind?
I don't know. Must have been the wind."
Fuck's sake.
He closes the door and locks it. In the room, you notice that. Sorry, let me just close my window. It's freezing. Yeah, in the room itself, you notice that there is a few benches with various artifacts that are being like inspected and worked on, and maybe dismantled just to see how it works. And then there's another door, which is a sort of like iron grate, like iron bars that separates one half of the room from the other. And in the other half, there's just like a bunch of boxes and shelves that have things on them. But you're like hidden in this
part of the room, and the Magister sort of sits down and begins working on his thing on the bench. What he has on the bench at the moment seems to be this like clockwork, some sort of clockwork machinery that he's sort of like dismantling and just trying to see how it works.
Like the stuff that we saw, the clockwork stuff before.
It's the same vein, same vein, but it doesn't look like it's like a part of some clockwork soldier. It looks more like maybe some sort of technomancy type artifact. It's quite hard. I mean, you're not, you know, like Morna doesn't quite understand.
Cool looking
what
job.
it could be. Yeah, it's just sort of clockwork looking.
Okay. Is there no sign of the oak bull?
I mean, not immediately.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was wondering. Okay. Oh, I want to have a little look around more.
Okay, well, so yeah, again, like, there's those iron bars.
Oh yeah. So explain the iron. I'm confused about the iron bars.
So like the room is like a sort of circular room.
Okay.
It's bisected in the middle by like like sort of a jail cell bars, and then on the other side are just rows and rows of shelving and storage that has like boxes, crates, sometimes some things that are just placed on there. There's like one particular thing which is like in a like it looks like a snow globe, like just set on the on one of the shelves and stuff. Like and the iron bars have this sort of door in the middle which can be unlocked with a key.
I have a big question. Is
Yeah.
the snow globe the same one that Shai used when she was in the Oak Bowl in The Strangers? Like a magic globe that she used to tell the future because she led Mona to it, and I was like,
it does look similar.
okay. Shock horror. Maybe I could take it and then we could teleport to. No, you can't teleport over different planes, can you? So I feel like Mona doesn't know enough about teleportation to be able to be like, we should take it so we can teleport to it. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm gonna shadow step again over to the other side.
Okay, so you shadow step over to the other side. The person who is working on the stuff is like facing away from you now. So now that you're there, he's facing away, and you don't have to be as stealthy as long as you're not making a noise.
Yeah, my boots. I don't make any noise when I walk.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so you notice that there's just a pile of crates and heaps of junk and chests and stuff that you could spend hours searching through. I mean, I'm sure that this is like a lot of quite rare and magical artifacts in here as well. But your eyes are your eyes immediately drawn to this sort of snow globe?
Yeah, because I remember in one of the sessions, Shai took Morna's hand and put it on a globe, not a globe, a crystal ball type thing, and told her about the future.
Yeah. Well, you know that it's not that.
Okay.
Immediately, but when you look at it, something catches your eye, which is quite strange. It's a scene of some sort, trapped inside this globe, this snow globe. There's like wind rushing through it, but you as you sort of like walk closer and look at it, you notice that it has some sort of shack in the middle of it. That as you sort of walk closer, it does seem to look more and more like a tower.
It's got the oak bull inside it.
It seems to.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast silence over the area first, though. I'm gonna not get the magister in it, if I can. I don't know how big the room is.
How big? What's the radius of silence?
Let's have a look.
20 foot.
20 foot.
I think you'll probably get the magister in there.
Can I cast it so it's like over? Okay. In that case, I'll just be really quiet.
Sure. All right. Well, you're still gonna have to get out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So you put that in your bag. Is there anything else you want to do?
Get out.
Okay. Are you gonna shadow step out?
Yeah. I assume there's no windows, right?
No. This is like in the center of the top floor. So
Okay.
there's just stone walls around, and it's lit by those sort of magical lanterns that they use in the library as well.
Mhm.
And the Magister, who's sort of working on this piece of clockwork, also has one of those lanterns right by him that he's using, as well as the sort of magnifying glass to look at the intricate clockwork mechanisms.
Okay. I'm gonna knock on the door again, and then run back.
Are you in? Are you only invisible in darkness, or do you have invisibility on?
No, I'm invisible in dim light.
Okay, there is dim light, but by the door, I would say there's not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So there's shadows which you can stick to and remain invisible, which you've been doing with Shadow Step. But there are like 2 quite bright magical lamps right next to the door.
Okay. Might just knock something over, and when they're distracted, run out the door in the hope that the noise is distracting enough.
All right, well, yeah, you can do whatever you like.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking. Let me just think.
All right, whilst you're thinking, we'll go back to Gira
Okay.
and Chinook. Magister Castian Gilperos finishes up the cast, and his eyes sort of roll back in his head as this sort of like blue arcane magic begins to overcome his vision. He like puts his hand on the hammer and is just sort of muttering to himself some inaudible stuff, and then he gasps and takes his hand off and immediately just stares at you and says, "What is your purpose for being here? You know exactly what you are doing." He stands up and he says, "You better leave."
Calm yourself.
As a Grand Magister, I am surprised you didn't read a bit closer on the Dragonborn text.
He casts detect magic, and immediately can see the aura surrounding you. "Yes, I thought so." It's pointing to Chinook, and then he says, "You use magic like that on me." He stands up
Easy.
and,
I just used it because this is of grave importance.
No, hold on. I know for a fact you're not particularly loyal to your Black Fire. You're like me. Well, you're in the pursuit of knowledge. Now, I don't mean to be rude about your slightly quaint library. But you know who I am, then you know that I was the curator of the greatest library ever to beseech this planet. So, I suggest we make a little bit of a deal.
he sits down and says, "What are you suggesting?"
You've heard of the floating library, or the floating city, as some may call it.
Yes, I have. All resigned to history, but I am still trying to work out exactly how you are here.
In exchange for that knowledge, would you be willing to allow this to just go a little undetected? And in return, we have access to the Oak Bull.
He's like staring you up and down and saying, The strangers have been a thorn in the Arcanum side for, well, hundreds of years. It wasn't under Blackfire's orders that the Oak Ball was retained here. It was under mine. What do you think?
Oh.
What do you think makes you think that I would hand over such a powerful group of people to you? That have caused so much chaos within our ranks.
With all due respect, Magister, I don't particularly care about that, but what I can guarantee you is that they'll be out of your hands. You see, what I require them for would mean going quite far away from Barathon, and probably likely not much desire to come back.
Well, and you're not lying to me again, are you? You don't have any other incentive.
My incentive. Go on.
You will bring the dragon there to the basal tiles where she will stay.
Well, if you know much about the Dragonborn, then we don't control the dragons, but I don't feel that the dragon residing in the Oak Bull would care all too that much about this place. No offense, of course.
Fine. He stands up and says, "Come with me."
Uh-oh.
Alright, so Morna, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna use my coin to teleport all the way to to Dormont, and then I'm gonna use my thing, the sending stone, to be like, I'm in Dormont.
Okay.
You should join me
so-
now.
You teleport away with the coin.
Mostly just because he can get me back.
Yeah. So you teleport away with the coin, and you arrive at the ruins of your previous. You arrive at the ruins of the previous headquarters of the Grace of the Crow. You notice that it's just fucked here. Like there's not really bodies lying around, but all or anything that was of any value has been ransacked.
Yeah, I think she's a bit taken aback because generally it's not a very emotional person, but yeah, this is a bit sad.
Okay, going back to.
Oh, for fuck's sake! We're fucked!
Bastian
Fine.
leads
We're
you.
fine. We're fine.
You would have heard my I'm in Dormont.
Well, not if they aren't listening to their sending stone.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
Uh,
fine.
we're-
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, so Castian leads you up to the top floor, to the door that says "Secret Relics," and knocks on it, and the Magister opens up, and says, "Oh, did you knock before?" And Castian says, "No." And he says, "Oh, okay."
Do we? Does Gira and Chinook register anything from that?
Make an insight check.
Can I do that as well?
Sure.
Cheers. Hang on. Insight.
It seems weird. Out of all the things it could have been, it's quite hard to put two and two together. You obviously haven't seen Morna for quite a while now.
I'd like to give Gira a look like, uh-oh.
Gira just.
Castian says stand aside, Magister Hebron, and the Magister turns around and nods and stands aside as Castian gets a big set of keys out and begins to open up the gate on the door and opens it up and goes in. And the second he walks in, he looks at the space on the shelf that the oak ball was on, and he turns around immediately and says, "There is no way you had nothing to do with this."
I promise you that was not our
Well, here. You can't have gone too far. Gira kind of comes over and sure you're not being blind. And he kind of investigates. Kind of also just to see whatever the hell else is kind of here, because it's kind of interesting, right?
The other magistrate steps forward and says, "Well, I've been here all day, and no one was here, and it was definitely here this morning." Castian says, "There is something going on here. If it wasn't you, then it was someone else."
Rightly so. Why would we come all the way up here? You know, I basically gave you the secret of who I am. For us to just steal it, it sounds obtuse and quite frankly ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I will not be able to go up to my end of the bargain then.
But in the spirit of the agreement, I am willing to. It's only fair, I suppose.
He's like visibly angry, sort of having been made a massive fool of.
Feels good.
He just says, "Just leave before I change my mind."
I give him finger guns and I back out really awkwardly.
Okay, Gira kind of looks to him and says, "If you change your mind, do find me and I will tell you."
Leave!
Gira turns
He's like
and
shouting profanities at you as you sort of start walking down the corridor. You walk past Aaron Shander's portrait again, and like he's just staring at you as you walk as you walk past. His eyes seem to follow you across the.
Can I cast minor illusion just for a short while so that as we leave, I can just chuckle as it looks like he has a little bit of a twirly mustache as we leave. Just a little one.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. I was just trying to close it. There we go.
All right. So you two end up being shouted out of the magisterium until you're back on the stone steps, and then finally you hear your thing in your bag, sort of with Morna's voice saying, "Psst, hey."
Hey, listen!
Morna.
I'm in Dormont. Can you meet up with Scripture and get here right now? It's quick as possible. I'm in the old temple.
Dormont.
You can hear this as well,
No.
by the way.
Dormont, you say? What in heavens happened? The artifact was missing. I suppose you had anything to do with that.
No, it wasn't anything to do with me. Maybe.
Well, then, where's the oak bull then?
Look, I have information. Just get here now. I'm.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Grimshaw will be there in a couple of moments.
Oh,
Okay, see you soon.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scripture, you hear this as well. This
Yeah.
conversation.
Yep. Okay. See you soon. We're at the.
You're at pub.
It's a hipster bar. It doesn't have a name.
We're at the bar with no name.
They just have Blue Lagoon on tap.
We're not even sure if it's a bar.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, we just walked in and they started serving us. They
It's
might
like a
actually.
cat pub.
In fact, we're the only people in here. It might just be a friendly old lady who just decided to give us drinks.
Halcyon 2.
Yeah, you just walked into someone's living room. Thinking of a pub. The old lady living there is like demented enough to think that she runs a pub.
It's like, oh, it happens. Or just like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. You shouldn't have decorated the house like this.
We're trying to spend as much time in Baratham as possible, guys. Hurry up.
Fine, I'll finish my drink.
Your nice cup of tea.
Pay in 1 gold. So,
You can have mine too.
Please stop making that noise!
So the only way Scrimshaw's going to meet with you is if he goes to the teleportation circle in Dock.
Yep.
So are you heading there?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll chuck a couple gold down on the bar, pay our tab, and then head out.
The tea table.
Yeah. She says, come again.
Oh god.
Oh god.
It's the first time I've seen anyone in years.
Oh, okay. It's fine. Should have forgotten we were here in 95 minutes.
Oh God.
All right. So, is it just you? Are you and Roxanne going to meet with?
Melindra as well, I hope.
And
Yeah, I
as
think
well,
the three of us
yeah.
will go. We'll meet up with the others and
But
find
Melinda's
somewhere.
Like, did they get it then?
I don't know. Mona sounded panicked. I think she got something.
I said I had information.
Yeah, she said she had information.
I don't know where. They might be like standing next to them. So standing next to someone important in the Arcanum, so I don't want to just be like, I've got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
Yes,
all right.
find
Screenshot then.
somewhere.
You.
Find somewhere secluded
three.
and do the circle.
Yeah. And you teleport off to Dorban. After a few minutes of waiting at the market, Mona arrives.
Right. So what?
Oh, we're not in the temple.
No, we need to meet at the teleportation.
Yeah, I would have been in the temple. There's a teleportation circle in the temple.
There's not one in the temple. The teleportation circle in the temple only works with the coin.
Oh, I did
So
not know
you'll
that.
have to
Okay,
you'll have to go to Dorman.
that's fine. I'll meet them in.
Oh, I thought
Dormont.
those were separate things. Yeah. We'll probably meet somewhere in between the two, right? Try.
Yeah, it's
so
like a
not
20-minute
out
walk.
non-public. So much.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, when we meet, I'm gonna be like, hi, just come with me a second
Right,
to out of the city, so there's no one nearby, and once there's no one nearby and we're sort of like on the road or something, I'm gonna pull it out and be like, look what I got! Woohoo!
Great, you got a snow globe.
Look
But
in
what
the
about
snow
what
globe.
about?
Oh, this is no snow globe, Scrimshaw. Fantastic job, Morna. I had
You're
no.
not,
Oh, are we
you-
not there
you
yet?
should- no, you're not there because Scrimshaw went straight from the inn.
Wait, no, I thought.
You're
No,
still in
the idea was we were
I-
meeting up with them and then
Yeah, I-
teleporting
I-
over.
Right, sorry.
Yeah. So you're
Okay,
like leaving there and like waiting for them and then
Yeah.
finding somewhere to teleport off. Sorry if I
Okay.
wasn't clear about that.
No, that makes more sense in timings. So whilst Morna's
Yeah.
walking, you meet up with Gira again. Alright, so you're all in Dormont now.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I once there's no one nearby, we're gonna walk somewhere there's no one nearby. I'm gonna be like, look what I got. Let's go back to the house.
Guys,
And I'll put it
guys,
in
I
the
have an
wine.
idea. Guys, I have an idea.
Hmm.
I have a really bad idea, but it's an idea.
Okay, what's the idea?
What if we smash it?
I think we should do more research first. I don't know why I'm whispering, but we should do more research before we just smash it, right?
But that's boring!
Also, maybe
think
not
we need to-
here.
I think that we need to go back to the house and to the war room to talk about this because the people who are looking for it have definitely touched the object, so they could just scry it. So we need to go and put it in the war room so they can't find it immediately. So let's go.
War room!
That is a good plan, Morna. I concur.
All right.
But I have seen a number of these before, so you should be able to work with it.
Okay, let's go. Who can get us back to Astor?
I can't.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
'Kay.
Do you want some gold, or are you okay?
I'm okay for now. I will need to get some more components at some stage, but I can do another. After this one, I can do another 5.
Okay. So then you make your way back to Astorwell.
Okay, I immediately run upstairs into the war room and put it in there.
Right. So, what is this then?
It's a snow globe.
So, Mike, can I do like a
Make a religion check.
can I do it with advantage?
Yeah. So you immediately recognize what this is. It's an artifact which is designed to. along with another artifact that they must have used to hold something in stasis. But you also know from your experience with magical curses and bindings and the like, that the elf who originally banished Massamantha in the Oak Ball, it was not really meant as like something that can never be broken. It's just something that you need a particular skill set to break. And you're pretty confident that if you were to smash it, it would undo the curse.
Ooh, so we're gonna have the Grace the Crow, and we're also gonna have the Strangers living here.
Does
Nice.
Gira
Yeah,
know that
maybe
if
do
you...
it. Maybe do it outside.
Okay, just a sec, guys. Sorry, let Gareth.
Sorry, this is Matt more speaking, but just to
yeah.
check, is it so? Would Gira know that where you smash the ball is where whatever is in it would kind of appear?
Yeah, but the Oak Ball being no longer attached to Baratheon should be enough to undo the curse.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that like if we did it and did the curse, how would the Oak Ball appear? Would it kind of, if we did it here, appear like kind of on top?
Oh,
of
you're not really,
the room?
yeah, you're not really quite sure how that would work.
Okay, right. Okay,
Because
that's
you could
fine.
be. You probably want to give it some space.
Yeah, that
Yeah, we
was
should go outside into the woods and do it.
Yeah,
Can I
we
do
spent
it?
good.
Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I
We
do
spent
it?
we spent good money on
I'm
this.
gonna steal it. I think Roxon should do it because he's the strongest, so he could get more of a crack first time.
Everyone,
let me break
please.
it.
Everyone, please. I understand you're excited, but we need to be careful. I do need to concentrate. Although it might just look like one needs to smash it, there is a degree of art and subtlety to it.
Let me smash it.
Mike, was there a teleportation circle in the Oak Ball?
No.
Okay.
Nice try.
I was just thinking whether it would be better
Yeah.
to put it somewhere like more tactically
Okay,
placed.
okay.
I think we should just go out into the back garden and Rockman throw it onto the ground.
Yeah, I want to smash something.
I agree. And kind of curls it up into a blanket and takes
An
it
extension
out.
would-
While we're walking, can Gira kind of ask, kind of almost like slightly nervously, and go, "What's she like?"
Seemed nice. Very big.
Massamantha?
More like
Yeah.
massive Mantha, am I right?
Hey. Nice one.
I
Please.
slapped Grimshaw.
I will not take such insolent
Lightly.
words.
Not as like a big
No.
hit, but like I lightly slapped Grimshaw, like,
Give him a pat on the arse.
get the fuck out of here.
Well, she's big and she's golden. She's golden, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's a golden.
And the other two people that live there are also very nice.
Well, at this point, maybe.
I know Shahid's nice.
At this point, maybe one other person.
No, there's Johan and there's Professor Methrick.
Oh, I forgot about Johan.
Oh, I forgot about Professor Methrick.
I thought Professor Methrick might be dead by now.
No,
Oh,
because
is
like
he-
they've sort of been in stasis, so he'll
Oh
be.
right, I thought that in my head I thought that when they'd got like they'd come back and been captured, time would like have continued going for them.
Mithrix was
Johan.
like the mind player guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To my people, Massamantha is a bit of a vigilante hero to some, and a villain and menace to others.
Sounds like most vigilante heroes.
And indeed, she
I wanna smash it.
was a bit unusual for a dragon. He didn't
I mean-
particularly subscribe to a, how do I say,
Oh,
a balanced view of not interfering with mortals.
I wanna
You-
smash it.
Warner, please, we're walking
me
down the
break it.
stairs right now. I don't think this is the best place.
Give
Oh, I'm
it.
so excited.
Oh, I just want to break it.
But in any case, I am a bit nervous engaging with her because he is a hero of legend, or a villain, depending how you view it.
I mean, I think we're basically vigilantes who just kind of take the law into our own hands.
Oh, absolutely.
So, quite frankly, it's like a meeting of equals. She's just older and much more powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
And trapped inside a snow globe.
Okay.
Right.
Are we ready?
Well, Warner, we're just now coming past the porch. We can do that.
Right,
No, we go to a nice open space somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, clearing in the woods somewhere.
Come on.
Do it.
Go on.
Give it to me.
All right. So kind of
I-
unraveling the thing on the
I did-
ground.
I did kind of think that maybe we could do it right next to the house and then have like an extension.
Shush!
Ooh, I like that. Let's do it.
Gira's already thinking, and
Let's just
he's
do it!
he's engrossed
Explode.
Give
on
it.
the
Give me the sword. Give it. Give it.
Alex ignores. It would look a bit weird, but he uses his wings, his avatar of the librarian spell, and kind of concentrates. And before Roxong can kind of jump in and smash it, because that would probably
Give
make
it
things
in.
worse.
Just trying to like
Yeah.
take it from you. Go, just give it. Give it.
He uses the hammer on the orb.
Oh,
No. I stole it.
I want to
God.
smash them.
Gabriel brings the hammer down on the snow globe, and there's a crack as the hammer smashes straight through the top of it. There's a blast of arcane energy and sparks shatter as a gust of wind shoots out of the top of it. Suddenly there's this sort of like expansion of the thing that's inside, which grows massively. The shack that is before you rises and rises high in the sky, like the tower that it turns into when you get closer to it, reaching almost seemingly the clouds before you. Before a crack appears all through the stone work of the tower.
Gira, what did you do? Gira!
Maybe back up.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the door opens, and you see and exiting Shai. With her mouth stitched up, with black hair, looks confused.
I run up and give her a hug.
Before the tower begins to crumble and the stonework begins to just unravel, this magical arcane energy shooting off into the sky as the tower then suddenly begins to evaporate. After a few moments, there's nothing left of the tower except for the people inside. One of which is the old woman that you have known for a long time, sat just on the floor, looking again confused, as she looks around and sees you all, and says, "Oh, right, we'll end there then, shall we?"
Yay!
What's the
I
name?
Right.
thought you were gonna say, when you said the old woman you've known for a long time, I thought it was gonna be Halcyon. I was like, this can't be right.
What do we do? What do we do wrong?
Halcyon's been with us this whole time.
The timeline. The timelines.
Halcyon was not Samantha.
Ah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
just the
Sesh.
opening of-
Awesome.
it's actually just the opening of Mike's multiverse.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
the
just
Mike
wait until
Cinematic
TV
Universe.
The Halcyon TV series coming out.
Oh yeah, Halcyon and Clive Adventures.
It's HBO Max. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I shall.
All right. Well, thanks for playing, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. All the
Yeah.
stream,
All right.
Awesome job.
but it looks
See
like
ya.
you have some outlays now.